Being alone is okay. Now, brace yourselves because what I'm about to say is going to be somewhat controversial. And I 100% understand that. Every opinion is subjective. Every voice you don't have to listen or tolerate. What one group of people can hear will be blessings in a candle, while to others will be the rasps and the scratches of a squeaking door. What I'm going to say will offend someone. I already know it will. But it needs to be said. In this day and age, the most strongest of men and the most strongest of women are the ones who can enjoy being by themselves. And I don't mean being by yourself with roommates. I don't mean being by yourself with a pet. I mean truly being alone. Being in a metaphorical four boxes. Four squared box. And just being there by yourself. No pets. No roommates. Nada. You are by yourself. If you are able to enjoy, and as a matter of fact, love the idea that you're by yourself a lot of the time, you're more up ahead than you realize. You're more mentally stronger and have a greater willpower than most other people have. A lot of other people don't know how to deal with being alone. They need to have a pet with them. They need to snuggle up with their little dog or their little cat or whatever animal. They need to have someone with them. And if not a pet, they need to have someone that can cuddle with them at night. Even if the person looks ugly, or even if the person has political opinions you don't really respect, just knowing the fact that you can use them and cuddle right beside them, knowing you're not going to be alone at night with your own thoughts. Or a person who is deathly afraid of going to sleep by themselves. They'd rather drink as much as a sailor would, or they would drug themselves a lot like it was Woodstock in the 60s. That is sad. Let me repeat that. That is sad. The fact that you don't have the willpower nor the strength to be alone with yourselves. You got to distract yourselves from whatever. It's not healthy. And before people start calling the pot kettle black, I am not immune to this. I used to be that kind of person. You know what changed? My environment. I was never allowed to have a dog. My family hated animals. I would ask my dad for a little puppy, and he'd always say, "Oh, those animals deserve to be outside." He thought the idea of having a dog on a couch or a dog on your bed was disgusting. The fur everywhere, the fact they poop and pee everywhere. It's not a pleasant sight. Plus, keep in mind, I grew up alone. I didn't have siblings, so when I was a kid, I would just play by myself. And that's why today I'm not really bothered by being alone. As a matter of fact, I really love being alone. It's not that I don't have friends. I do, but sometimes being alone is a lot more powerful than you think it is. With me, for example, in these times, I'm able to express myself, feel free every single day. If I want to, one day, I can decide to put on some Cab Calloway on my phone and decide to cook myself up a nice dinner, all on my own. The next night, I can decide to put on Citizen Kane while listening to a vinyl record. Nothing's stopping me. The third day, I can decide to binge watch all of My Name is Earl on TV while looking at my phone and looking at weird retro Wikipedia articles. Nothing's stopping me. And even in the days when I don't have TV on or don't have my phone, I don't need it. I can gladly just sit in my couch, take a nap on my couch, wash dishes, clean the house a little bit. You don't realize how much dust is there until you decide to put your hand on it. I don't need 24/7 distractions. But I'm also not saying I'm perfect. I can see where you're coming from. Your mind is a very dangerous place. Sometimes people don't like being alone because they're afraid. Maybe they need to have someone with them just to feel safe. Maybe they need to hold on to someone so that in case if the time comes, they don't just die at night. I understand that, and I truly do. I used to feel the same way too. I've had my fair share of, I guess, incidents. There were times when I didn't want to go to sleep by myself and I had to hug a pillow really tightly, or I had to listen to some soft, soothing rain sounds to make myself go to sleep. It's okay. I don't feel right in judging people because I myself was one of those people. I don't want to be a hypocrite. But you also need to realize that one day, be it in your late 20s or early 30s, you're going to be alone. Whether you like it or not. Not all of us have the luxury or the pleasure of being with someone. I, for myself, have never had a girlfriend in my life. And it's not because I was ugly. It was because I didn't want one. I never really saw the benefit in having one. But that's another discussion. I'm just used to being alone. It's not a bad thing. And for people who are in school right now, this might sound very sad and dark, but I'm going to rip off that bandit and say, once you graduate, you won't see your friends again. When I graduated high school, I've already had that mentality in my head. And you know what I did? I deleted my Instagram. I left those people because I knew they were going to leave me. So what good does it do having friends if they're just going to leave? That's why I'm not really hurt if a friendship ends. As a matter of fact, if I feel like the friendship is going to end, I don't do anything to stop it. Because you learn from it. And I learned, just like in high school, that once I graduate here, the people I talk to, they're going to go their own separate ways, and I'm not going to hold any attachments to that. Because it has to happen. People are temporary. Majority of the time, you're going to be by yourself. Whether you like it or not. After high school, if you still live with your parents, you'll be around with them. But if you decide to go on and live on your own, you're going to realize how lonely it is being by yourself. If you're used to having people always give you attention 24/7, it's only going to hit you like a meteor. But that's where the greatness starts. You can start to learn to take that time and not try to use drugs, alcohol, or a one night fling to make yourself feel safe and sound. No, no, no. You can use that time to question who you are as a person. That's what makes being alone special. If you don't like to watch TV, look at your phone, or sketch and draw or read, you can use this time to question who you are. Ask yourself some of those hard hitting questions that you've never wanted to ask. Now's the perfect time, because you'll get to know what you're made of. And if it goes well, you'll not only gain a respect for yourself, what you're made of, you'll also grow maturity. You'll be way more ahead compared to other people. You enjoy being by yourself. You don't fear it. You let it flow like water. And that's a good metaphor. You can see loneliness as you laying on a stream, a river, if you will, and letting all of that go through you. That's how you can see being alone. You can see it as you laying there and letting all of that cold water from the ravine hit you. It might be cold and it might hit you in parts you don't want it, but as long as you don't fight it and you let it go through you, you grow, you learn. And that's what being alone is. It's you learning to love yourself so you don't need others to love you. Because if you can't love yourself, when you try to love others, it'll only be a reflection of your insecurities. That's why being alone is good. It's a good thing. If you have friends right now, it's good too to hang out and enjoy yourself. You won't see them afterward. But also take some times for yourself. Take some days off to enjoy yourself. Do things you wanted to do by yourself. Maybe you wanted to lay in your bed with a bowl of sour ice cream while watching Parks and Recreation. And hey, I'm not one to judge, but your body was craving it, you wanted it, and you did it. That is what being alone is. You do things you've always wanted to do. One of the things I want to do one day, this is very silly, but is try Cookie Crisp. I grew up in a household where we only had knockoff brands. We weren't the most richest of people. Anytime I wanted Cookie Crisp, it was too much sugar. But that's one of the first things I want to do when I am truly out of here. I want to grab myself a bowl of Cookie Crisp and eat it. I'm already halfway through most of the stuff I want to do alone. These past few days, I've been home alone, and I've been using that time to strengthen myself. And that's where this idea came from. There are many people, just like me, who are out there and are afraid of being alone. They'd rather drink themselves to sleep. They'd rather cuddle up with someone that they don't really respect, but just knowing that they're there with someone is enough for them. And I'm here to put an end to that. I don't want you to do that for yourself. You're only harming yourself in the long run. Because if you're like this right now, it'll only get darker from you from there. When you're in your 40s or 50s, you're going to really suffer. So, right now, anyone who has the opportunity to be by themselves, I had to give you these three things. Number one, do whatever you want to do for yourself. Doesn't matter if it's silly, doesn't matter if it's stupid. Do it for yourself. Number two, question yourself. Get to know who you are as a person. Maybe write down the struggles you've had or anything that you're embarrassed to talk about. Just write it down. At least letting it out will help you one way or another. And the last thing is, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid no matter what happens. Our minds are one of the most dangerous things we have. It's a double-edged sword. But if you're able, and if you can, control it, you will not only be able to be happy with yourself, but be happy by yourself. You will be able to do a lot more than you think of. And by being alone, you will not only be able to love yourself thoroughly and peacefully, but when the time comes, you will be more mature and wise compared to most other people. You will be able to love anyone you ever decide. That is one of the most powerful things you can do.